things are really set into a weird spot in this last chapter, with obviously Celine getting hurt and needing to retreat, as well as like the reveal that Carnegie was one of her sons. That we got Wendy doing whatever with hands and trying to relate whatever the connection is to face. There's a lot of events really going down, and my one of my bets for the next chapter is we're gonna see something of Celine's, like something within Celine's collection, like if she's able to heal from, say, like her hot spring, or if she's got something else like entirely that she's got planned. Because I feel like in her retreat she's gonna end up going somewhere where she's able just to pretty much fully recover, or something like that. Like she's got some form of set way to like fast heal and to get back on her feet way quicker. Because like granted, it's not like it should have to take her like otherwise it'd take her like a month to get back on her feet or whatever. But I feel like she's got to have something up her sleeve in preparations for something like this to happen. Because Celine is definitely very smart. She's definitely displayed that she, at least as of right now, is the most intelligent member of the Dragon Eaters, of the Dragon Gods, rather. The only person I can say that like potentially could be smarter than her is maybe Viarnes, because Viarnes is extra secretive and Merciful has never even met him or like knows anything about him. So maybe he's just a whole extra layer of scheme. But until we get information on him that could maybe give that to him, I would definitely say Celine is the smartest and most prepped. So in the idea of her getting hurt like this, because she did have like contending with the other Dragon Gods in mind, it wasn't something she preferred to because she knows that they're all equal, but it would make sense why she would have something prepared just in case if she got hurt, that she could go back to, like, say, like, again, if she just had to get her hot springs and heal her wounds, like maybe water that absorbs moonlight has healing properties for her. I think that'd actually be really cool if there's a subway for her to heal, because Fairy Tail doesn't have a lot of healers. We know that healing isn't a regular thing, and really, like, we have like Sky Wizards, like, we got like Wendy and I guess Tortoisharia, but like because it's like, yeah, she's not really anymore, but she got like very minuscule levels of magic. I assume that she could do like very low level healing. Regardless, we don't have a lot of healers, so if we could get somebody like Celine to reveal that she's got a form of healing in her magic, I think it'd be really cool. Either way, this next chapter, I think it's going to be a lot of moving parts to get looked at. Like a lot of different things are going to have a moment just to kind of get some spotlight. Like we're gonna end up seeing whatever happens to Celine. I feel like Celine's gonna get away. I feel like Suzaku is clearly like so exhausted, like he's like looks like he's barely standing. Natsu and Happy are on the way, but like the thing is, if Natsu and Happy get there, then like Celine in her current state, I don't really know what the plan is, because like Natsu relatively is fine. Like he's just got hurt and recovered from Suzaku's attack, but he should still have pretty much all of his magic left. And it's like, even if he's hurt, as long as he's still got all of his magic to fight and do things, he should be fine. Ultimately, I mean, he's a tank, he's a Dragon Slayer, so like being beaten up doesn't really mean a whole lot when it doesn't stop him from just attacking and utilizing his magic in every way possible that he can. So I do think Celine's gonna get away, but like each of those areas, like giving us like a nod, like what does Celine do from here? Does she have some way to heal, rest, and recover? Are we going to get some form of interaction between her and the Moonlight Beauty Gods? Because I don't know, I feel like after seeing Ferris, when she decided to execute Ferris after everything she did, she's like, alright, I'm done with you. Just perfectly fine killing her. So the Moonlight Beauty Gods failing like they did, I feel like Celine is going to end up killing him. And personally, I do think Celine only got hit by Suzaku because of the whole stuff of like the reveal with Kurenagi being one of her sons, and obviously being upset by the fact that one of her sons was killed and eaten by a human. And because of that, I think that she just wasn't as mentally prepared for Suzaku's attack. Like if she was fully ready in like mentally for like a serious fight, I think Celine would have just dodged. Like we saw Celine earlier in the fight casually, like before she even started to get serious, just nope around Suzaku's attacks, as well as like her attacks when just starting to get relatively serious were so fast that Suzaku was having trouble with them. And That's just one of the signs. Selene is definitely way more powerful, but I think it was just one of those circumstances where, because of where she was at mentally, and she didn't take Suzaku as seriously as she should have, she got caught in something, and it's because of that she got hurt. We'll see, because it would make sense to me if somebody who can freely like teleport all over the place, if if she got hurt, it doesn't really matter because she could just leave and go heal, like at any point, because it's like Selene's not going to fight fair. Even if you got, like, if you were 1v1ing Selene, say you were 1v1ing Selene and you did some damage and then she just left for 10 minutes, came back fully healed, you might have some time to catch your breath and whatnot, but it's not like you're going to be nearly as recovered as whatever she just did. So I can definitely see something in the next chapter giving us a bit of information on, like, essentially just her take on that, like, where she's going in that direction. And then the stuff with Wendy and Face, like, I have no idea what Mishima's really planning with the connection point between Face and Hands, because we don't really know anything about Face. I feel like it's going to lead to whoever created them or something, because outside of literally, like, oh yeah, comparative to Hands and Face, there's not a whole lot that we really can kind of use. I think Wendy is just on the detective path to find out, like, yeah, these things are related somehow. And again, maybe whoever made them is somebody that she's going to be going after. I don't really know, because, like, otherwise, who is it going to be? Like, the only thing I could really think of is if it's somebody like if it's someone like Eleftheria, where he's all about like law and it was like talking about magic and wizards and stuff. If someone like him or somebody in his line like somehow created Face as like a means of almost controlling the magic, and then as well as something like over in Elentier where it's like, oh, if there's too much magic, these guys are gonna wreak havoc until it's like worn down. Like some form of weird magic kind of just beat down system to kind of like keep everything in check. That's the only thing I could really think of, at least right now. Otherwise, it's like, what would like have gods have had to make them, considering they're like across dimensions, and they apparently are like, Face was all over the continent, but the Hands seem to be all over the entire planet. So, like, again, it's really weird what Mishima's doing with that one. Outside of that, like, I don't see anything really kind of crazy going on with the rest of the main cast besides Natsu and Wendy, just because they're both on some specific things. Like, the rest of the cast are fighting Hands. Natsu, we know, is going up towards Suzaku and Selene are. Wendy is investigating the Hands, so there's some plot information from those two and their activities. And that's one of the things I'm really hyped about this chapter, is there was a lot of different things happening that gave just general information. Like, the stuff about Georg was really hype, and I'm going to do a video on that as well. But the next chapter, I'm really hoping, and I'm expecting as well, just further nods at a lot of the stuff that went down in chapter 85, just because, or sorry, 86, just because, like, those have to, like, lead up, not all of them at the same time, but we have to get a follow-up on like, say, like, what is Selene doing? Like, where is she going? What's her plan? And where exactly is she going to direct everything from here? What's going on with Wendy, Hands and Face? What's going to happen with Diablos and the Fairy Tail group? Because their groups, like, once they figure out, like, that there's just a misunderstanding between them, they should team up, and I think they'd get along. Especially with someone like Suzaku, who clearly cares about his guild and his guildmates, so he would fit in pretty well with, like, trying to talk to the Fairy Tail members as well. So there's just a lot of different, like, moving pieces that I think will get some real intention in the next chapter. I don't think everything, I don't expect that the reveal of whatever the connection between Hands and Face are to be next chapter. I'm guessing that's going to be a little bit longer, as well as stuff like, Selene's other sons, like things like that. What's up, like the true story of Georg? Those I can definitely see as like way later. But for now, like stuff like figuring out what Selene's doing, Natsu and Suzaku meeting up, like, and just generally what's going on with like the Whiteout Village and everything, like some current, like, the big now running scenes, like stuff that's going on right now, not stuff that's like, oh yeah, this is foreshadowed for later. It's like, no, these things have to be addressed right now because of like how it's gonna go. Like, Natsu next chapter should run into Suzaku, and they should, I would hope, have a word, because Natsu's not gonna beat up a barely walking Suzaku. I think you would help him and then still try. Like, he might want to fight him, but like I don't know how much Natsu's gonna really go after a guy who's like barely standing up. But anyway, Other than that, comment below. Tell me your thoughts about what's coming up next chapter. It's a lot of scattered things, but it's a lot of these really interesting moving pieces that I can't wait to figure out. Because I had a lot of fun with this chapter just off of the big chunks of information that we got that really move a lot of the content along. But anyway, other than that, comment below, thumbs up the video, put the like button, subscribe, and check out my other videos. But I appreciate it. Subscribe. Thank you all for listening. Bye.